Hello, I'm Dr. Kinga Gortel. I am a veterinary dermatologist in practice in Kelowna, British Columbia. And we've done a survey. The Canadian Academy of Veterinary Dermatology asked veterinarians what questions pet owners ask most often about itching in their pets, about allergies and skin disease in their pets.
And I'm Dr. Juanita. And so, Kinga, today your question is, what does itch look like in a dog and how much itching is normal?
Oh my gosh, Juanita, itching in dogs can take on so many different forms. It's actually pretty incredible. As you can imagine, when we're itchy, we have access to most of the parts of our body with our hands. And so we can basically just scratch ourselves pretty well anywhere except maybe the middle of the back. But for dogs, they're not quite as flexible as we are. And so they have a variety of ways to scratch themselves depending on where they're itchy. So a classic example, and I think everybody will recognize this, is scratching with the back feet. So scratching for the back feet works on the neck, it works in the ears, it works on the face. It's really, really easy to recognize, and most pet owners recognize that that is itchiness. But there are some other subtle ways that are a lot harder for people to recognize sometimes. So another example might be that they roll on their back a lot. If a dog is itchy in the middle of the back, they're not going to be able to reach that sometimes with their back legs. And so they will roll on their back. And a common way for them to do that is when they go outside in the morning and they find a rough patch of grass, they will just roll and make that groaning sound. So that's another common way. If you have carpets at home, dogs love to carpet surf. Itchy dogs are pro carpet surfers. So they will mash their face into the carpet and run along it, or just really rub their face, rub their ears on carpet. They will sometimes
They also
run down
scoot their
the hallway.
bums on carpet too.
Oh yes, they do, but only if you're having a dinner party. So yes, bum scooting is another classic example. The rougher the surface, the better. It's hard for them to reach their bum in other ways. Dogs will sometimes bite their skin, and a common way for them to do that is this behavior you might see, we call it corn cobbing, where they're biting their legs or biting their thighs as though they were eating corn on the cob. And then one form of itchiness or itching that is often under-recognized is licking. So licking behavior in dogs sometimes is mistaken for cleanliness. And I don't know, Juanita, about your dog and my dog, they're not that clean. So they are not like cats where they use licking to clean themselves for a long period every day. If your dog is licking its feet or licking its legs or licking its belly, really anywhere for prolonged periods, that's probably a dog that's itchy.
So that brings another question to my mind, which is how much licking is normal or how much itching? I've done it myself, like you scratch your head, but what's normal?
Well, that's such a hard question to answer. I think we can all recognize that no itching is pretty normal, and then we can recognize that itching that causes skin damage and redness and hair loss, that is definitely abnormal. But within those two lies a big gray area. So it's quite subjective. We have an itching scale that we use, and one of the things that would make itching abnormal is if it interrupts normal activities. So if your dog is interrupting its mealtime, or is scratching in the middle of a walk when he's excited about going somewhere, or maybe you throw a ball and the dog stops to scratch partway through fetching that ball, that's probably abnormal. And if the dog, again, with that licking behavior, is spending long periods cleaning himself, that is also abnormal. If the licking interrupts or scratching interrupts sleep, which often means it interrupts our sleep, that's also abnormal.
That's great. Thank you so much, Dr. Gortel. Hopefully we'll see you for another one of these.
Thank you so much, Juanita. You too.
Bye.
Bye.